Hi everyone, we're now working on measures of variation. So this is another statistical tool that we could use. And measures of variation, we have to find the range, quartile deviations, absolute mean deviation, and standard deviation. But for this lesson, we're just going to be focusing on range and the quartiles. We'll talk about absolute mean deviation next time. All right, so let's move on. Alright, so in this case, a measure of variation is a measure that describes the distribution of a data set. A simple measure of variation to find the range. So the range of a data set is a difference between the greatest value or the highest value and the least value or the lowest number of the data set. So let's say you have set A, 3, 4, 5, 7, 1, 10, 9, 6, and 8. So you don't really need to arrange this in order to find the range because you just have to look what's the highest and what's the lowest. But I'm gonna arrange it anyway, so for you to see what's the highest number and lowest number clearly. So in this case, we have 10 as our highest number and 1 as our lowest number. So if you're looking for the range, so that's just gonna be 10 minus 1 equals 9. And the range for this data set is 9. Alright, so that is one of the measure of variation that we could use to evaluate data later on. So let's look for the quartile deviations. So let's go back to the problem set A that we had, and we arranged them in order, just copied it. So we're gonna find the quartiles. The quartiles of the data set divide the data into 4 equal parts. So recall the median, the second quartile, divides the data set into 2 halves. So let's find first the median of this set of data. So and then since this set is an odd set, so there are 9 in this data, so it means the 5th item is our median since we arranged them in order. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the 5th, 1, 2, 3, 4. So in this case, we have 6 as our median. And this is our lower quartile and the upper quartile. So that's the lower quartile, that's our median, that's our upper quartile. And the median, we call it Q2. So the second quartile, because this is going to be our first quartile and then going to be a third quartile. So now we're going to find our median again on the lower quartile, and that's going to be our Q1. So obviously we know what is between 3 and 4, so that's in between 1, 3, 4, and 5. So that's going to be 3.5. And that's going to be our Q1. And here we find the median again on the upper quartile, or the upper half, the lower half. And since it's only between 8 and 9, so that's going to be 8.5. And that's going to be our Q3. If it happens that it's far away from each other, so we're just going to add 8 plus 9 and divide it by 2, you should get 8.5. So you could do that. Okay? So that's how you divide the set into quartiles. Let's look for the next one. So the first quartile can be also called lower quartile. The third quartile can be also called upper quartile. Actually, others are calling it lower half and upper half. We could also do that. The next measures of variation that we have is the interquartile range, so or IQR. So the difference between the third quartile and the first quartile is called interquartile range. The IQR represents the range of the middle half of the data and is another measure of variation. Let's look back at the last example that we have. I'm just gonna put it here. So going back to the examples that I had with you, we had this lower quartile, we have Q1, Q2, upper quartile, and we have Q3. The IQR is the difference between the upper quartile or Q3 and the lower quartile. So with that said, we could do a formula of IQR minus Q3 minus Q1. So the formula is going to be IQR interquartile range, Q3 minus Q1. We're going to use this later on in the future when I ask you to like describe the data set, the graph, and like that. we're gonna be using this. So now we're gonna have 8.5 minus 3.5. So our IQR for this set of data is 5. All right, you could always go back to this video and see on how it's done to find their quartiles and interquartile ranges and the quartiles. All right, we're gonna have a different video for how to use this data to create the box and whiskers plot. All right, so far that's our lesson for measures of variation, the first part of it. I just want you to make more practice through the IXL lessons that I posted for you, and I hope you will find the quartiles and ranges easily. Have a good day, and until next time, everyone. Bye for now. Enjoy your day. All right, bye bye.